tournaments like these.
Or Van Basten.
Because hitting two fullbacks are brilliant going forward. Anyukov on the right.
Arshavin. Van Bronckhorst, free kick for Russia.
Well, it's a little wide. It's kind of on the angle of the box, but, you know, it might be worth a hit from there.
Zhikov with whip, and Van der Sar plunged at his near post to claw it out.
Did well, the goalkeeper, to react, because for a moment I thought Van der Sar had been caught by surprise. I mean, you mentioned that this fella can hit them, and he's certainly hit this one extremely well. It's creeping inside.
Ingala, and back by Kolodin. Corner.
Just look at Kolodin's reaction. Hands went straight on the head.
Winston included big saves from the Dutch keeper. This is Semchov, and Pavlyuchenko might very well have scored.
Well, again, look at the reaction, and you can see from the Russian bench, they feel that Pavlyuchenko should have scored. I said to you when we watched the game against Sweden that this is such a talented boy, Pavlyuchenko.
With the clearing header, he's come out to Ingala!
Well, you know, the fact that he's reacted the way he has tells you that he knew he should have steered that at least on.
Kolodin's forceful tackle on Van Nistelrooy, right beneath the flag of the referee's assistant. Nistelrooy again by the penalty spot. Hoyer has arrived. Matthijssen is forward too. And the Vaart's delivery. Oh! And neither De Jong at the near post nor Van Nistelrooy, almost on the line, applied the touch.
You know, De Jong should have got something on it, but you can excuse De Jong. He should have buried it. Van Nistelrooy. That's a great ball in this time. He got the first one wrong. Van der Vaart, that is an absolute peach.
Arshavin! Fingertips of Van der Sar.
I think he needs help, Hoyer. And I think Boulahrouz could have got back quicker. I think De Jong could have got across, because you knew Arshavin was going to try and come in on that right foot.
Out by Van Nistelrooy, and back again by Kolodin! Van der Sar at full stretch again. My word, that boy can hit it.
Well, it takes confidence to actually hit it from that range, because if you get it wrong, you can look a bit silly. He's thumped that one. Another good stop from the goalkeeper.
Kolodin, he's tried again! Oh my word!
That's outrageous. Audacious to try from there. And you would think, just having had to save one before, that Van der Sar would be on his toes thinking, well, no chance. That came very, very close to dipping. Right on.
Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy! Stopped by Akinfeev.
But it was a good stop from...
Well, Kolodin gave it away to Van der Vaart! Beaten out by Akinfeev.
Set up. The only thing Akinfeev will tell you, he's delighted that it was right down his throat. Any side could have been in trouble. And look at hitting. I think that's the reaction.
And that's half-time. It's not bad. Minutes of the first game, last 35 minutes of the second game, and a goal. Man of the match performance in the Dutch shadow team in match 3 against Romania the other day in Bern. And now 45 minutes of the first knockout night from an orange point of view.
On this side, here he is now.
Schneider, Van der Vaart, Van Persie! Oh.
Well, that's what he can do as well. He can drift inside. That's why I thought he might start in the left, because he's naturally a left footer. And this is really clever, and I think it's a sign of what Van Basten will want.
Van der Vaart with the Dutch free kick. Again, no touch, and again, devilish in whip, and again, De Jong was closest at the back stick.
I mean, his deliveries have been fantastic from Van der Vaart. Overhit one early on, but since then, they've been really menacing, and that was malice.
Didn't have an awful lot to do with the ball from Khalid Boulahrouz. Say one of those who represents best the team spirit that the Dutch have managed to conjure up here. Yellow card for Van Persie. Easy to take. With pace! And with a real eye for the chance. Andrei Arshavin. I don't think there are many players who would have shot from... Arshavin. Aimed in at Pavlyuchenko! It's Russia! They've had it coming, the Dutch! Hiddink has won over Holland.
Collectively, the Dutch are flat. Now, they just made the change in that area as well, and it's worked in. Heiting is too slow getting across to arshavin.
Sayenko away from Van Bronckhorst. Sayenko wide.
Well, he still could have got it on target, but I thought he could have hit it just a moment earlier.
Tyson amongst those four. Van der Vaart's delivery, and Van Persie at the back post. Van Persie caught on it. Anyukov striding out with it. Sayenko lifting it forward. Pavlyuchenko. Here is Anyukov! Van der Sar threw out an arm.
Angle against him in the end. But I mean, look at that, the right back.
Arshavin to run at De Jong. And feed it to within 6 inches of the instep of Sayenko.
That's what I've been saying about Russia. I think they can work hard.
Here's Schneider. Van Nistelrooy hauled over by Kolodin, who's in the book. And if they reach the semi-final, he won't play. The edge of their seats. It was Van Persie.
And maybe he should have hit it. Didn't quite get it right.
And set back for Schneider! Didn't quite catch it right.
No, a bit scuffy, but in a good place.
Oh, but Tyson was caught and Pavlyuchenko would have been in. But again for the alertness of Van der Sar. And Semak rolled along the crossbar.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be the holding midfielder, and I've watched...
Quick little feet, he'll be with us shortly. Here, though, is Schneider!
Well, that was close. That is a great attempt. We know he can hit them.
Schneider. On a deflection of his own man.
Well, this time, he really concentrated on getting over the ball to keep it down, to keep it low.
Zhiryanov. Bilyaladinov. And Zhirkov!
Oh, trying to walk it in. Do you know, but it all started with Arshavin just easing Johnny Heiting off.
Decorated this tournament, the Dutch. But they are very close to going out of it now. Schneider's free kick. 1-1! Holland saved by Ruud van Nistelrooy! Orange is bright again and has a future.
Well, the Russians haven't heeded the warnings that we saw in the first half. Great deliveries, people almost getting in on the far post. Van Nistelrooy, De Jong, and Schneider has delivered an absolute peach. And again, the Russian marking is lax. Onside.
Zhirkov! And driven back in by Zhiryanov.
He's kept battling away Van Nistelrooy.
And reprieving a player who would otherwise have been sent off. Fascinating
that
end.
Helped get Lubas Mikhailov with what would have been, well, a very, very unfair decision, I felt.
Way ahead of him. And Schneider! Going through his repertoire. Going for goal. Found himself half a yard.
Not bad.
Trying to do that. Away from Zhiryanov, in for Van Nistelrooy, back for Van Persie. If they've had a way to go. Arshavin, where he loves to be. Torbinski's gone on beyond him, but it's Andrei Arshavin!
Maybe just went for a little too much power.
Forward, Bilyaladinov's edge of the penalty area as well. Pavlyuchenko hit the crossbar thrillingly!
Oh, we were right behind that. I thought it was in, because Van der Sar this time is well beaten. That's superbly struck, and it all started with Turbinski, you know, very tenacious, good ball out.
Afellay wide. Van Nistelrooy Holland's saviour. Arshavin, drafting again. Arshavin, Torbinski! It wasn't a firm touch.
Well, felt he could. Terrific from Arshavin. Brilliant.
Taken by Zirianov for Arshavin, who went over under challenge from Heitinga. I wonder whether Kolodin, the man who was sent off during his long run.
You don't want to be in that wall, do you? If this hits you.
It is Kolodin!
Oh, how true was that? I mean, okay, Van der Sar is kind of guarding that side.
In Vienna on Thursday. Zhirkov thunderously in at the back of Van Persie.
It's clumsy. It's clumsy and tired. Again, you know, there's no real malice to it.
Time, extra time, still no nearer knowing who will still be in the competition.
And the score after 90 minutes, Netherlands 1, Russia 1.
Away from Heitinga. Zhirkov's gone over and been told to get up.
I mean, I think he's made more of it than there actually was. Okay, plenty might disagree with me on that. It looked.
He does, by the way.
It looked it. Yeah, of course he will.
Billy Aladinov. That's a beautifully slipped ball, which came back to Pavlyuchenko, who was never settled over the shot. Went down under the challenge of Torbinski, and he sees yellow for that. By Schneider. Kofeev and Ignacevic were on entirely different wavelengths and still are. Arshavin to start with, almost at walking pace, but gathering speed now and taking on Oya. And crossing for Torbinski! Russia have what they merit, and they have 9 minutes to hold on to it. A heap for hitting, a heap of joy.
Well, it's been a problem for Holland all night when people have run at them, and especially on that side of the pitch. I mean, Oyer's the one trying to deal with Arshavin. I'm not sure he quite meant the cross the way he delivered it, but it was a peach in the way it just dipped over Van der Sar, who's guarding the front post.
Again with the substitute Sichev, who's fired over, uncomfortably hot for Van Basten. Hotter still perhaps with Arshavin! It will be Russia! The little maestro carries them into the semi-finals. He's a special player. It is a special night for his nation. And Hiddink has downed Holland.
The big difference tonight is that Russia have been a team. Holland have been disjointed. Collectively, Holland haven't functioned. They've imploded. And I think this gets a little deflection.
17 minutes played.
Se qualifie pour les demi-finales de cet Euro 2008. Les Pays-Bas de Marco van Basten sont éliminés. C'était la dernière fois que Marco van Basten prenait place sur le banc néerlandais. Enfin, la dernière fois, peut-être pas. Il y reviendra peut-être dans quelques années, mais là, il va aller.